Greetings everyone, this is Wayoff, bringing you a World of Tanks replay on the JgPzE-100. Now, this actually occurred before my Thursday livestream. As people who saw my vlog will know, I have not been playing World of Tanks much at all for probably a month or two, honestly. The meta was just getting tiresome, but I really wanted to try it for the livestream again, and I decided to do a few warm-up games ahead of time. And I'm still really attached to this tank. It's my only tier 10. Now, as you can see, there is an AMX-50B on the other team that's already called this a loss, mainly because we have a bunch of tier 10 tank destroyers. We have 2 more than he does. That's a really toxic attitude to have, really no matter what the situation. And it will come back to bite him later. Now, as we're moving up to the southern corner of the map, which is what I was initially intending to do, but I got off the mark really slow. We suffer some grave misfortune really early. The enemy uses their fast mediums and fast heavies, mostly fast heavies, to rush up to that choke point that divides the south road from the camp road. And they pretty much stop most of the column. The Object 268 stops to fire. He's on my right. And I move up right here because I'm too scared to go across. I don't want to get shot in the flank. And you see the 268's already down to 30%. And this is not a good place for me to be. I don't have a lot of cover. I don't have a lot of options where to angle my armor. And honestly, angling and teamwork are going to be the focus of this replay, just letting you know now. So the Object 268 just went down. I just took a shot from a T-32, fired reflexively. Shouldn't have done that. Reflexive shots with this gun are almost always a waste. Lose my track, repair it, didn't think it was a big deal. There was an HE shot coming in, probably from the E-100. I didn't really know he was there yet, but we'll see him later. And that wasn't terrible. That wasn't great. It wasn't good either. Here is where things get really messy for me. I've been completely cut off from the rest of my forces. There's an M103. I've been spotted. He misses me. And we're lining up the shot. And right there is a heat round to the lower glacis from another JgPzE-100. We will see him again. And the fact that he's firing heat will become much more important later. However, for the moment, that really hurt. Knocked out my engine, had to use my repair kit on it. I'm now down to 600 health, and in a really bad way. And our southern road fight's not going well either. The T-57 Heavy that went down that side will begin moving back up this way to the north, probably to reload. But it's his intervention right here, and his team play, that really saves my bacon and allows me to play the rest of this game out to decent effect. So here we have in total a T-32, an M103, and an E-100 coming up. T-32 fires, doesn't get anything. E-100 comes in, and I'm angling like crazy now. You need to angle this tank. It's got good armor, but a lot of it's flat. So there's the first shot I absorbed on the corner of the casemate. That could have hurt like hell if it hit me flat on. It was heat. M103 comes around, takes a wallop, and here's where things could go horribly wrong for me. That M103 could flank me and just shoot me in the side and lock me down, and I probably wouldn't be able to stop him. However, the T-57 has come back up from the north, and what he does next will prove very pivotal to the rest of the game. And this is where I gotta say, teamwork really matters. Because what he's about to do, he could have taken any other course of action and it probably would have helped his immediate situation more. But either he's incredibly farsighted or he's a real team player. Either way, watch what happens. And there you go right there. He expends 2 shells to take out that M103 and keep me from being flanked. That has kept me in this game. Now I need to repay him in kind, because he's being pinned down by an E-100 and the T-32, and he has used all of his ammunition essentially to bail me out. But I'm still scared because I don't know where the JgPzE-100 is, so I'm approaching very slowly. But they see me coming around and they go for the easy kill. Bounce off the E100, angle again, very important. Takes the track instead of the rest of my tank. If I had sat backing up like flat to him, he probably would have killed me right there. However, tracks back up, and now he's in real trouble. He's reloading, he can't get the Waffenträger, loses the T-32, shoot him right in the back. So I've now freed up the T-57 Heavy, who's now going to start rolling down this intersection around the South Road. Our other Waffenträger is going to move up. However, the first Waffenträger is in some serious trouble on the South Road. He's reloading, and he just took another monster hit from their JgPzE-100, the one that hit me with heat earlier. And here's where the other team play comes into effect. Honestly, the Waffenträger has a much higher alpha in the sense that it has its autoloader and can just unload shot after shot after shot while I'm still reloading. He's got much higher damage in an alpha strike than I do. So, in my opinion, I'm going to try and save him so he can get the kill on that Jagdpanzer. I'm not banking on my chances with this Jagdpanzer, as I'm already in one-hit territory for a tank that big, and I already know he's firing heat. So, my initial plan was just to pretty much die there and buy the Waffenträger enough time. However, I'm not just going to go in there and suicide. Remember, it's about angling. So, blocking him off, he now knows I'm moving up, and we're going to go right at it. And as you can see, I'm going up the road at angles. I'm trying to zigzag a little bit. There he is. Monster shot. Very lucky on my part. And I turn around in time to block his return fire. You'll see later, that shot actually hit him in the seam between the upper and lower glacis, just below that seam, in fact, for almost full damage. Now here we are. At first, neither one of us want to poke. I don't even want to poke because he's probably reloaded and stuff. But then I see the Waffenträger is turning around. I figure he's ready to roll, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke to draw fire off with the JgPzE-100, make him waste the shot, and then have the Waffenträger finish him. Again, intending to die pretty much. But there we go, approaching at that angle, and there's the shot, he's done. Now you look right there on the side, you can see where that heat round just dug a huge divot into the side of my tank. And I almost did botch this up. I almost over-angled, and essentially would have given him a flat surface to hit me with that heat. It's a really fine line in a way because, again, knowing he's firing heat, heat is great at penetrating flat surfaces or near flat surfaces. If you give them an angle, they usually bounce. However, if I under-angled, he would have hit the flat of the front of my casemate. If I'd over-angled, he probably would have hit the near flat of the side of the casemate. I would have died in either regard. And I probably cut it very close. And honestly, he's probably going to be a little salty about this. And there's the AMX-50B, who's essentially called that, you know, well, we lost. I knew we were going to lose. And there's the JgPzE-100, who's, you know, calling me lucky. I'm not slow on purpose, for the record. I'm slow because I was being very wary about how I was approaching him. And it paid off. And as I pointed out in chat, this was actually a very close game. If you look at the replay, and you look at how map control went, we almost lost this game plenty of times. Just my performance at the beginning could have cost us. But we're able to pull it out through some good angling on my part, saving that Waffenträger, and that T-57 bailing me out. It allowed us to clear up the south, and fortunately the north held it together well enough to pull a win out of this. That AMX-50B, he did a grand total of 953 damage. He essentially ran out into the middle of the map up north, got some shots in, and then got pinned down and eventually destroyed. Would he have played that way if he believed that his team was going to win? I don't really know. But that toxic attitude will get you. You will fulfill that prophecy of losing. I mean, if XVM says so, we automatically must lose. never think that way. That's how I feel about it, because if you do, you'll just make everything worse, especially for yourself. And there we go. The Waffenträger repaying me earlier by destroying the T-57 after it dunked our T-57, which was unfortunate. And essentially, I'm rolling away because I didn't pay attention to the fact that they said the JgPzE-100 is up north. However, this game is pretty much dusted. They're just going to go ahead and wipe him off the map. So here we have the after action report for that fight. And I did finish third on the team, which is not bad, but not great, with about 4,000 damage. But the important thing here really is the potential damage received by me, which was 7,500. Apart from saving myself by angling, I effectively saved teammates from taking that damage as well. The Waffenträger may be on an E100 chassis, the tier 1 might, or tier 10 might be, but that doesn't mean he can take that sort of punishment. Some of that damage there, about 2,000 of it, would have been aimed at him, and we might have lost him, and we might have lost the game in the late stages. It's hard to know. He did contribute rather big after that save. He got 3 kills, he got 2,000 damage. In fact, the other Waffenträger cleaned up even more. So freeing him up to move down that side road by surviving the attack from the E100 and the M103 and the T32, and between me and the T57, clearing that road for him to come through and for the T57 to come through probably changed the game's outcome. So guys, that is it for today. Like I said, this was not a massive blowout game like my other JgPzE-100 game, but it was still very important because it's one of those games that really emphasize the skills you need, especially to play this tank, but a lot of tanks. I mean, there's some tanks that don't have any armor no matter what you do, and angling ain't gonna save you. But tanks like this, the JgPzE-100, angling is a big deal, and knowing how to do it can really change the outcome of these higher level games. Now, as I said, this was essentially pre-stream practice. I have started streaming again, and at least one stream a week will be World of Tanks for around 3 hours, usually on Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. So, if you want to check that out, I will be there. You can find that page with the link that I will post below. So, good luck out there. I'll see you next time.